Tomorrow in Paris, the 33rd Olympics of the modern era kick off. It's going to be great. 52 years ago next month, I was a soon-to-be 8-year-old, and my parents, who were both school teachers, took us to Germany to go to the Munich Games. I went with my 4 Irish Catholic brothers. My dad, as Rich said, was a very successful high school basketball coach, so he instilled in me a love of sports. My mother, who is an 8th grade American history teacher, taught me the importance of the advocacy for women's rights, a torch that was handed down from her own mother, who walked for women's suffrage. Exactly. 7 weeks prior to those 1972 Olympic Games in Washington, D.C., Title IX was passed. Title IX mandated that all girls in school should have equal opportunity and access to sports. Little did I know then that it would change the future of athletics and provide an unprecedented investment opportunity, which has been a big part of my career. So let's fast forward to April of this past year. I'm in Cleveland, Ohio at a sports bar. I walk in expecting men's March Madness or opening day of Major League Baseball. And instead, what's on every screen in this sports bar is the NCAA women's basketball tournament. I sit down next to a guy in a Cleveland Browns jersey. He's got about 18 pounds of wings in front of him. And he goes, I came in here to watch Shaq or Charles Barkley walk through their brackets, but this is something else. But here's the kicker. The next day, if you went to ESPN's website or Fox Sports' website, it was still really difficult to find women's sports. And that's when it hit me. We are truly facing a blind spot, $1 billion blind spot, might be even more than $1 billion blind spot. And what I want to share with you today is the investment opportunity in women's sports and why it's so important. So let's first talk about the business of sports. I'd imagine most of us in this room are sports fans of some kind. All sports for fans revolve around 3 things. Ticket sales. A packed arena is really exciting. It's also very profitable. Sponsorships. Big brands want to be associated with success. They'll put a patch on a jersey. They'll name a stadium. And then the third thing is media rights. If you get enough eyeballs tuned in, broadcasters will truly pay billions of dollars for the right to have access to those games. So let's think about what we crave as sports fans. We want a sense of community, we want stars, and we want to understand what is going on. The New York Yankees pinstripes are absolutely a uniform, but it's also a symbol that unites millions of people truly around the world. Think about the slogan for the Philadelphia 76ers, trust the process. That's actually a shared identity. Stars, we all want to root for stars. Serena Williams, her incredible athletic skill, not only revolutionized tennis, but she combined it with business acumen, and she became a global icon. And the third piece is we truly all want to be able to understand and appreciate the athleticism of what is going on in the field. And that's where expert journalists and statistics and analysis of the game is so vitally important. So let's talk about what I call the paradox of women's sports. So this picture behind me is 92,000 people attending a women's volleyball game at Nebraska Memorial Stadium last year, an all-time record. You're also seeing in women's soccer, led by stars like Sophia Smith, selling out stadiums. The NWSL is expanding. I'm actually trying to buy one of those teams. Wish me luck. Thank you. Even in horse racing, you're seeing more women jockeys than ever before, and a woman trainer by the name of Jenna Antonucci was the first woman in the history of the Triple Crown, 150 years, first trainer to ever win a leg of the Triple Crown when she won the Belmont. And of course, the WNBA and Caitlin Clark. Every now and then, all of us as fans get to see truly an inauguration of a transformative figure in sports. I think most people believe this. She is a transformative figure in sports for all sorts of really, really important reasons. Wall Street Journal just reported a couple days ago that ticket sales are an all-time high for the WNBA. What's interesting is the demographics are changing. More men are attending game. Young people are attending game. It is truly a seminal moment that we're all seeing. And so this gets to the paradox. 15% of all broadcast games feature women, meaning 85% are all men. So there's this huge visibility gap. If you look at sponsorships, another core leg of the stool, the WNBA signed a $2 billion deal last week, which seemed to be so large. If you compare that to TNT, which broadcasted NBA games, they're bidding $70 billion to keep it, and they're likely to lose it. So you have $2 billion, $70 billion. It's a 35 times difference. It's quite remarkable. And on top of it, you then see this, which is the investment, the difference in investment. And so the picture of the barbells came out a couple of years ago from an NCAA women's basketball tournament game. Their warm-up room, their weight room, was effectively these barbells in a closet, contrasted against a state-of-the-art facility with a spa for the men. Quite a difference. And then if you really dig down into the numbers, Clemson University, for example, invested $55 million into a football practice facility. Yes, for practice. Picture on your right is $700 million Penn State is putting into to redo what is already a state-of-the-art football facility. So this is where the opportunity lies for all of us as fans, for investors, as business people. There's three things that we could all do. The first, in a groundbreaking book by Caroline Perez called Invisible Women, I highly encourage everybody to read this book. It talks about how even driving cars, the average car is designed for a 5'9" man, while half of the drivers or more are women. There's lots of these examples, but within sports, what we can all do, buy tickets, buy merchandise, engage in the content. There's nothing better than to have the fans and the consumers speak. The second piece is around investment. We collectively need to talk about why are these stadiums being built solely for men and not for women. There's two examples, one in Kansas City, and this picture here is of Angel City in Los Angeles. They designed these stadiums with women in mind. And as a result, these stadiums are consistently selling out. It's quite remarkable. The third opportunity, and this is not only just for Greg, but for every market of Fargo size around the country. Digital technology is transforming sports. It used to be you needed to be in New York because you needed to fill a 100,000-seat arena. You don't need to do that anymore when all of the money comes through effectively digital technologies. And one thing is very clear. Owning sports teams is very lucrative. If you look at what happened if you owned a men's sports team, over a 20-year period, you outpaced the S&P 500 by over 300%. It's effectively like buying Berkshire Hathaway stock in 1992 when it was $8,000, still not cheap for one share of stock. That one share of stock today is worth $650,000. So, As the Olympic flame is lit tomorrow in Paris, where for the first time, half of the athletes will be women, let it illuminate this blind spot and usher in a whole new era of investment, innovation, and equal opportunity for women. I guarantee you the returns will be nothing short of Olympic gold. Thank you very much.